Hello everyone, welcome to our Timeless Oracle reading. Our Oracle card for today belongs to Earth Blessings Oracle cards, and the card for today is still belonging to the springtime portion of the card deck, and it is the third card, and the card is entitled Clarity. When we look at this card, the phrase here is, may you bathe in the light. After winter, many of us become enlightened of many beautiful things. Like for example, when you look at the picture, you just see a leaf with many venules and there are droplets of dew, or maybe even raindrops on its surface. When you undergo transformation, and for some of you, you start to open your clear gifts, this simple leaf starts to speak to you and gives you a lot of wonderful messages. It can be something that is visual, using your inner vision. It can be something perceptive, something that you just sense, like the energy of the leaf. It can be what you suddenly hear while looking at the leaf. It can be a sudden flash of an insight or a thought just by looking or touching the leaf. The messages you receive becomes more profound because your inner senses starts to open. And so what used to be dim to you, what used to be overlooked by you, suddenly starts to become clearer, and you start to see more things. It's like when your eyes are no longer 20/20 in vision. When you put on your glasses that corrects the vision, suddenly what is blurred becomes clear. And sometimes when we undergo transformation, when the clear gifts opens, your inner sight, your inner senses, your inner hearing, all these things makes you look at life more, much more clearly. There is this passage in the scriptures wherein St. Paul wrote to the Corinthians in the first letter to the Corinthians, chapter 13, 1-2. I would like to read the phrase that was written there, because somehow it describes us this suddenly opening to new things, this suddenly being able to see things clearly, or much more clearly than we did before that winter of transformation. In the springtime, things becomes much more clearer than it was before, and somehow this scripture, 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 12, somehow for me describes very beautifully this new sense of clarity. The phrase goes this way: for now, we see only a reflection as in a mirror. Then we shall see face to face. Now I know in part, then I shall know fully, even as I am fully known. When we undergo journeys to our inner self, we learn to understand more our interconnectedness with the divine, with the rest that exists, and with our self. And we become more aware how much we are fully known by the divine and our spirit guides. In a certain sense also, we start to look at life in a different way. If before we look at people or at things on a skin deep way of point, in a skin deep point of view, if our choices for beauty in the past is just skin deep from what we sense through our physical senses. Now that your inner senses are opened, you start to appreciate people more from the beauty that emanates from within them. So you start to appreciate more the compassion of people. You start to see more the value of the courage of certain people. And in a certain sense also, sometimes part of the gifts is being able to understand people even if they are quiet. And so a new set of ethics starts to develop with you also. Because before you know it, you realize even if the person is not speaking, you immediately know what is in their mind, what is in their heart, what are the unspoken messages they wanted to express but they could not. And so what happens is you develop a certain ethics that you need, you realize the need for you to respect the boundaries of the privacy of these people. Because sometimes the sudden openness of your inner senses makes you become aware of certain things that you were not aware of. But this can be used in a positive sense, wherein you become good negotiators, you become good co-journeyers, especially with people who are undergoing struggles and have difficulty expressing what they are feeling. Somehow these new gifts that you have received, this new clarity of your senses, allows you to see those unspoken cues and allows you to be a good guide, a good healer. At the same time, you become a visionary because you get to see certain messages, certain telltale signs of possible futures that allows you to guide people to the right path. You become less judgmental because you see also your own struggles, and at the same time you understand what other people are undergoing through, because even if they are quiet, you somehow sense what is happening within them. So in a certain sense, you develop a certain ethics, and at the same time, you develop new roles. Some become healers, some become guides, some become good negotiators, some even become good peacemakers. They are able to find the right way or to propose the right proposals that prevents conflict or that allows people to come into a win-win situation. So the clarity becomes, everything starts to become clear, and you appreciate that gift, and you realize you need to use that gift of clarity. Life becomes more exciting to you. People you meet becomes more exciting and more colorful. You become a person who is more open to new things because you see things in a bigger picture. You are able also to look at life in its different angles. And because of this increased clarity, increased sensitivity to everything that is happening, not only in the physical realm but in the inner realm, you draw other people close to you because they know that you oftentimes are able to be of service to them, especially in those moments where they are troubled and they are not sure which choice to make. So some of you also become mentors, become teachers to those also who also are starting to undergo transformation and the opening of the gifts that they never thought they had. Now let's try to read from the handbook that accompanies this card, which has 3 sections, so that we can gain more insights regarding clarity. The first section is with regards to insight. As the sun slowly rises, the earth reveals herself before you. Yes, it's true. When your clear gifts opens, going, taking a walk amidst nature becomes very exciting. In this fresh dawn, you find a new focus. What you need to see is suddenly defined and beautifully illuminated. You can give your attention to what is most vital. In the second portion, which is the blessings, the prayer or the wish that is given here in the handbook is, may you have the power of perception. May the answers you seek find you. May you be enlightened. May you focus on what your soul is calling you to do. So, as we undergo this clarity, you realize that new roles are being given to you by the universe. So allow the universe to guide you to the right path. It ends with an affirmation, and it says here, I look to the light and find the clarity I need. So in this moment wherein you receive new gifts, look at the light, look at the divine, look at your spirit guides. Let them teach you how to use this new clarity of insights, clarity of sensing the world and the people around you. Well, that's it for today. Thank you for the likes and comments you've given to the channel. Thank you for subscribing. I hope to see you again soon. Until that time, may God continue to bless your ways.